Today on Monkey Life, Alison meets Clyde, a pet trade marmoset who refuses to transfer from his owner's broken travel cage to the safety of the park's travel box.
I don't like the cage with holes in it, but if that's what we're gonna have to do.
Young orangutan Hujan meets older male Bulu, who's up for a full-on play session.
It looks a little bit over the top, but I think there's a lot of smiles in between there.
And Argentine chimp Sasha meets the challenge of Bart's outdoor enclosure for the very first time. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
There they are. It's so amazing. They look really fit and healthy. All good.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 25 different species. Early morning at the park, and Alison's on her way to yet another pet trade marmoset rescue. She's preparing to make the short journey from Dorset to Fareham in the neighbouring county of Hampshire. A male marmoset there, named Clyde, has been on her waiting list for several years and could be the perfect partner for Jenny, one of the females at the park.
Sort of sadly, I was able to go to our waiting list and come up with what is number 7 or 8 on our waiting list, Clyde, and also is approximately the same age as Jenny. So we try and sort of find like with like, so we'll have perhaps the same energy levels and things. Little bit worried that the video clip I've been sent, his hands and his feet look like they might have rickets, and his fur doesn't look the best, but I was told that that was him just getting up out of bed, but I'm still a little bit concerned about his condition. But we'll get Clyde back to the park, see what he's like, get him fed up and vitamins inside of him, and consider introductions to Jenny almost straight away. We'll want a day or two to settle Clyde in and see what he's like.
As Alison leaves for the 60-mile journey to pick up Clyde, his prospective partner Jenny is recovering from major dental surgery. She had a growth and a number of teeth removed yesterday, but is doing very well.
She's eaten well, she is literally back to normal. Her attitude, she's telling us off again. She seems a lot more comfortable, so some of the food items that she struggled with, a couple of days ago, she's attempted and eaten very well now, so yeah, she's doing really good.
Which is just as well, because Alison has arrived in Fareham to meet Jenny's potential new mate, and his owner.
I'm Alison.
Yeah, I've seen you before.
Pleasure.
Alison prefers to see any new primate in their current living conditions to help understand their mobility and behaviour. This identifies any potential issues, so the primate care staff can be informed. So she's a little frustrated to find the marmoset is already boxed up.
Well, hi, sweet pea.
However, she's able to take a look at Clyde's cage, which is still in place, and is told he also had the run of the sitting room.
Sweet pea. Hey, Clyde. He's thinking, yes, what's going on?
I do know.
Alison's keen to get as much background on the marmoset as she can.
You've had him now since 2015, was it? You first...
2015, yeah.
You contacted us, I think?
I made contact when his partner died, because he went into a depression.
So you had just kept them in the cage when they were a couple?
Yeah, but it was double that size.
Yeah.
Double that size, yeah.
And so he's not really ever spent time outside or anything?
I take him out occasionally to get a bit of sun.
It's a recurring problem with pet trade marmosets. They're often kept in small spaces with very little, if any, outside access and very limited sunshine, leading to a lack of vitamin D and, inevitably, rickets.
And fruit and veg.
Yeah, spaghetti. He does love spaghetti.
Okay. Yeah.
I do give him a bit of porridge in the morning.
What, oatmeal or?
Ready break.
Yeah. No, that's fine. That's fine.
Alison has the information she needs. Time to transfer Clyde from the owner's box into a secure travel crate.
Go on in, Clyde.
But try as they might, Clyde won't budge.
Clyde.
It's all right, sweet pea.
Come on, baby. All right, babe.
I don't like the cage with holes in it, but if that's what we're gonna have to do.
Alison doesn't want to cause the marmoset undue stress, so decides he'll have to travel to Dorset in the owner's box. But first, she'll make it as secure as possible.
Do you mind if I call you if there's any questions or issues?
Phone me. Yeah, no
Thank
problem.
you. Thank you.
Alison is eager to get Clyde safely back to the park.
You're all right, little man.
The primate care staff will assess the rescued marmoset when he's in a more secure environment.
Luckily, not too long of a journey, because, like I said, I'm really not happy with that cage, but we've got it gorilla taped down and the sides and the holes filled in and everything else, and I've put a blanket in at least and a water bottle on board, so not ideal, but at least we're on our way.
They set off, with Clyde heading for a new start, a potential new partner, and the chance to live a more natural marmoset life. It's been a week since orangutan Hujan joined the rest of the youngsters at the nursery. He's settling in well and becoming accustomed to the house, its large playroom, and some of the outside tunnels. He's also met all the girls in the group, including new arrival Kyan, who's just 15 days younger than him. The primate care staff have saved the only male in the nursery, 8-year-old Bulu Matter, till last.
He's a lot bigger than Hujan, and he's the only other male in the group, so this is the kind of decider, really, if you like, of whether this is going to work or not. I really, really hope it does, because there's so much work that's gone into it, and all of the other intros have gone so, so well. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, fingers crossed, they'll get on and become best buddies.
But primate introductions are notoriously difficult to predict. So today's meeting between the two will start with mesh contact only, to see how they react. Hujan has his friend Kyan in with him for support, while the other 3 females remain outside in the enclosure. At first, Bulu is somewhat indifferent to his new housemate.
Bulu, come here. Hujan.
So James decides to try and bring the pair closer with some cooperative feeding.
It just gets them a bit closer together, gets a little bit more trust in them and things like that, really. I mean, there's been no negative behaviour so far. Hujan's a little bit wary, obviously. Bulu's a lot bigger than him. But yeah, it's looking all right so far.
With no signs of aggression in evidence, James soon decides it's time for the pair to meet face to face. The team prepare for all eventualities.
All right, fire extinguisher behind you. Boy, Bulu Bear, good boy, well done.
Hujan and Kyan head straight into the bedroom next door, ignoring Bulu as they do. They're happy playing together, enjoying their own fun wrestling session. But when Bulu gets in between them, Hujan immediately backs away into the corner. He's wary of the larger male and not sure how to react, particularly when Bulu makes a grab for him. James monitors the situation to make sure it's just harmless play. But then Kyan decides she wants to join in the fun.
It always looks quite aggressive at the start with things like this, but they have to work out which one's the strongest, basically, to work out who's the boss. So it looks a little bit over the top, but I think there's a lot of smiles in between there. We just need to make sure that we're almost policing this a little bit, just to make sure it doesn't get a little bit too out of hand. But Hujan's not squeaked in any way at all. He's actually been smiling most of the time whilst Bulu was doing that to him. So that was a really good start, to be honest. But obviously, early days, we'll see how the rest of this goes and plays out, but fingers crossed.
In case it's all getting too much for Hujan, James decides to swap Kyan with some of the others, currently outside in the tunnels and enclosure.
I just felt like they were starting to gang up a little bit too much on him. So I've just taken her out of the mix for a minute. I'll probably let her back out to the rest of the group.
Enter Oisin and Mimi, and the presence of the adult female has an immediate calming effect on Bulu.
He's not being so crazy now trying to chase after Hujan or anything like that, so I think we've done the right thing there. So yeah, we'll continue to watch this for a little bit longer, and then this afternoon we might think about then adding Rika to the mix. Probably Kyan last, to be honest, after her very enthusiastic behaviour with him this morning. So yeah, it's going good.
The team will keep up the introductions before letting the whole group outside together. They hope by then Bulu will realise Hujan makes an excellent playmate. But the older male will need to dial down the rough and tumble. After all, Hujan's a lot smaller than his former play pal, Sylvester. There are now 5 squirrel monkeys at the park, following the arrival of youngster Kimbo a few months ago. But integrating him into the group hasn't gone according to plan.
He's a young male, he came from the pet trade, and our hope was to try and get him into our group. Unfortunately, we haven't been successful as yet, but we have managed to get him quite happily living with Nueve, our female black cap. So at the moment, we're taking a break from intros, and we're just going to run the groups as 2 separate groups, basically. So we've got Lopez, Lucille, and Logan living together, and they're the trio that have always lived together. They came to us together, and then we've got Kimbo and Nueve in a separate part of the house.
Today, Karen has come up with a new and unusual feeding system for the trio of common squirrel monkeys to try out in their wonderful natural enclosure.
So it's really cool, kind of hanging coconut feeder, which is great. They've had half coconut shells before, but they've never seen anything like this before. So this is going to be really interesting. And there's a big hole at the bottom, so we can fill it full of good stuff. And then we're going to hang it up, see what they make of it. Hopefully they'll enjoy trying to get out the insects and the treats.
Karen has all sorts of goodies lined up to fill the coconuts.
So we're going to put some straw in and some waxworms. They love waxworms, one of their favourites. Let's put some more straw in. Hide them all in there. Also going to use some mealworms, which they really enjoy too. Also going to treat them to a little bit of jam. It's very high in sugar, so this is a rare, very rare, very rare treat. The work that they'll put in will far outweigh the calories in that little bit.
Suspending the coconut containers all around the enclosure will test the 3 squirrel monkeys both mentally and physically. And here they come. Full of curiosity about the strange objects decorating the enclosure. They're certainly a puzzle, spinning and swaying the moment they try to grasp them. This will take some working out. Lucille carefully considers the coconut conundrum. Seconds later, she's got it cracked, reaching out and using amazing core strength and balance. Squirrel monkeys don't have prehensile tails like some other South American species. It means they can't use them to grasp things or hang from them. Instead, they're often used as a counterbalance when collecting food from hard-to-reach places. Lopez tries a different technique, using his strength to haul the coconuts up to his perch on a high branch. He's perfectly balanced as he rifles through the straw to find the mealworms. His measured approach means he doesn't let too many of the grubs fall to the ground. Logan is the biggest of the 3 common squirrel monkeys. He's also the least enthusiastic when it comes to working hard for his food. Today, he's got a bit of an excuse. His large hands are a bit too big to reach inside the holes in the coconut. The trio have come a long way since being rescued 6 years ago.
Lucille at the minute is still quite quiet. She's massively improved since she's been here, but she is still the quieter one out of the three. Lopez's behaviour has dipped a little bit while he wasn't well, but he's starting to come back to himself, and he is the cheeky little chappy that likes running around and playing. And Logan is still I'm the big man, and I still need to try and be the big boss and show how strong I am and muscly I am.
Today's enrichment has been an excellent exercise for the small group, challenging them physically and mentally. Lucille has made the most of it, and it pays off. She hits the jam jackpot, earning a sticky reward for her perseverance. It's been a momentous few months for Argentine chimps Sasha and Kangoo, rehomed from Buenos Aires Zoo. Since the mother and son were separated, Kangoo has become well ensconced in Brian's group of 6, where everyone, including Rodders, are now together and getting on. But for his mum Sasha, it's been a different story. She's found life tough in Bart's group, where introductions to the other 15 haven't always gone to plan. And she's yet to venture into the large outdoor enclosure. But today, primate care staff member Sean is hoping that's all about to change.
It's been a bit slower going here, actually getting enough of a group around her to kind of be that reassurance and support as she goes outside. And yeah, the hope is that her going out, obviously a lot better for her, getting out in the fresh air, exploring the big enclosure and everything like that will be so much better for her. Things can only get better is the hope. So yeah, it's looking up today.
Sean has opened the slide connecting the house to the outside tunnels that lead to the large enclosure.
Good girl. Hi. What do you think?
Sasha has spent the night with Athena and Lola, 2 females who have become good friends and are there to support and encourage her outside. If things go well, Sean will gradually introduce a few more of Bart's troop throughout the day. But first, she needs to take that initial big step outside.
It'll be all right, probably.
While Lola and Athena are making the most of having the enclosure to themselves, Sasha hangs back.
Oh, Sash, it's okay.
This is all new to the chimp,
Come on, sweetheart.
and she's understandably cautious.
Come on, then.
Lola comes back to offer her reassurance.
Good girls.
It seems to do the trick. After a bit more hesitation, Sasha takes her first steps into her new large outdoor space.
Good girl.
Before making her way across the grass to one of the climbing frames.
Well done, sweetie. She's out.
With Athena and Lola staying close by her side, offering support, she's soon off exploring.
Lola and Athena are just perfect and wonderful, and I'm very, very happy with them. They've been very sticking close to her, reassuring her. I mean, they've still gone off and stuffed their faces with all the apples out there, but, you know, they've been happy enough to keep an eye on her.
As the morning goes on and Sasha is becoming more and more confident, Sean decides to introduce 2 of the higher-ranking females into the mix, Cindy and Clyn. The distraction of some frozen fruit smoothies is enough to keep things calm for now. It's been a huge day for Sasha, coping with the large outdoor space and all the sights and sounds that come with it. And for the primate care team, it's great to see that all their hard work and patience is paying off. After a short journey from Fareham on the south coast, Alison has arrived back at the park with Clyde, a male marmoset who's been on her waiting list to be rescued for some time. He's had to travel back in his owner's animal cage, which wasn't ideal. But the journey has been quick and uneventful for the marmoset.
The whole situation was a little bit odd. He appears to be okay, and we'll see how he goes. I'm going to give him to Elle.
Yeah, if you could tell Elle,
Yeah.
that's probably easy.
Yeah.
The team are anxious to get Clyde settled in one of the bedrooms for the night, where he'll have other marmosets as interested neighbours.
Is used to being loose in the house and around people. It's only if you try and grab him that he might. But otherwise, you should be all right.
Elle opens up the cage to give Clyde access to his new bedroom.
Come on, little man.
He's in no rush.
Door's open.
It'll be the first time Alison will see him actually move. Slowly, Clyde plucks up the courage to take a look around, climbing to the edge of the cage before taking a leap of faith. He's actually fairly mobile and shows some good agility as he moves around the branching.
But he looks pretty confident, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, that jump out of the box was pretty capable.
Still not terribly happy of what his hands look like from that previous video clip, but he does seem not too bad. I guess leaping across countertops and up onto kitchen cabinets and stuff has put him in good stead for at least being able to move around. I'll be interested to see what Steph and Elle think about the state of his bones and everything moving forward, because some of the videos we had beforehand didn't look really good. And the bottle of D3 that I've been given is full and looks new. So, yeah, we'll just have to assess him now. But he's pretty good.
Clyde's got a lot to contend with in the house, so the team will give him plenty of time to adjust before introducing him to his new partner, Jenny.
Yeah, a lot of animals to get used to in this house. He's got very noisy neighbours. He's got the Tamarin girls next door that are very, vocal. He's got Millie Martin at the end who alarm calls, at any little sign of noise or danger. So he's got a lot to get used to. But next to him on the left, he's got his future girlfriend. And hopefully within the next week, they can start communicating over the wall and talking and familiarising themselves before they get to meet properly in person.
So far, so good. But the next few days could be life-changing for this new arrival. Next time on Monkey Life. A visit from the vet for one of the park's strangest residents. But it's hard to nail down what's causing his condition.
This one is actually thickened and distorted the whole way down.
And Capuchin Gizmo and his girls go nuts over a cracking challenge.